So in the last class, we highlighted about Anusthana. The Sutra number 28, Yoganga Anushthanat Asuddhikshay Jnana Diptihi Aviveka Khyatehe. So while discussing, we also highlighted very carefully that there is difference between Anushtanam and Abhyasam. So Abhyasam was called mere practice. But when we talk about Anushtanam, in fact we say Punah Punah Anushtanam Abhyasati. So again and again when you do the Anushtanam, you follow the Anushtanam, that becomes Abhyasa, that becomes practice. Or else this mere practice is not going to take care of the subtle aspect, so which we have discussed in details. Now, when this is talked, then the question will arise, what do you mean by this yoga anga? So, what are they? Now, in Sutra number 29, so very nicely says, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhaya, Ashtangani. Now, when it says this, that these are the 8 angas, all are aware of this sutra because that everybody remembers, okay? So, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Okay. So, Patanjali also is over, okay, with this. So, I think there is anything required after this to talk, okay? But now, question may arise. See, what is this Ashtanga? Because this is the most important aspect. How is it contradicting this yoga sutra people thinking? Anga means limb. Angi means the one who has anga. Clear? So I have, in English, Sanskrit, I have an anga. Okay, an anga. So I have a limb called hand. I have another part, another anga called kidney, internal. I have leg, I have head, brain, many things I do have. Now, if these are the angas, so that means this angas is not complete. Clear? Now, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, all are angas. So each one of them being anga, can they be complete by themselves? But what people arrive at in conclusion? By samadhi. You understand? By samadhi. So that means what? That is called yoga. So they come to the conclusion samadhi is yoga. How is it possible? In one line you say that they are what? Angas. And second line you say yoga means samadhi. How is it will be acceptable? Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. The definition, let us go back. So what is the cessation of the mind is called yoga. So how can cessation take place? In samadhi. Clear? So now, is it contradicting or not? One line you say that samadhi is one of the anga. Is a anga. So being a limb, yoga is the main thing. Then how is it that limb becomes the main? That's why we have to understand. This angas for what? So this being limb we say. So that means what? These are the steps. So steps cannot be destination. So why also you need to see, yes, now please understand, if you can say this is the last step. So the last step cannot be destination, okay? How? This is the wrong thing to say. Here we say all these 8 angas, they are the means. So they become sadhanam for what? For viveka khyati. Remember this point. Because this is the basic thing to be understood, or else everything will go other way around. Because the previous sutra talked about what? It talked about jnana diptihi aviveka khyate. So that means you will need to follow the anushtanam, we need to do all the angas anushtanam for asuddhi kshaya. So once this asuddhi kshaya happens, as it really continues, then jnana diptihi until viveka kshati. So only when there is uninterrupted viveka, means there is no doubt at all. There is no confusion at all. So even if there is pain in the body, still I am Brahman. You understand? But once little bit back pain comes, what happens? Brahman can be on their way. Oh, you understand? So first thing is, sorry, so I cannot attend the class. And of course, if I have some issues, this and that, no problem. It's another excuse, you understand? And it's just pulling your leg, don't worry. So, what I am highlighting here is that viveka khyati, we need to have that set of viveka where there is no aviveka. So there is no confusion, there is no doubt. That means only one thing in mind. As you know better, this is what very nicely the story goes about Narada once. So Narada was thinking that he is the most beloved, most devoted to Lord Vishnu, and he must be the number one devotee of Lord Vishnu. And of course, once in a while this ego pops up. So Lord Vishnu thought, okay, time has come to teach him. This is not right, this is not healthy. So one day, Lord Vishnu said, hey, look, I have a devotee on earth, and he is dearer to me. Narada asked, oh, so is he more dearer than me? Of course. Go and meet him, tell him that, look, I have sent a message that Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, your God is pleased with you. Just communicate this message and come back. Of course, Narada did not ask the question why and how, because he was more curious to find out, to test who is this fellow and who is more dearer to Vishnu. How is it possible? And of course, he quickly rushed to the spot, found out. He didn't see anything extraordinary. The person was a common farmer. Morning he gets up, spends some time with himself, takes his, these bullocks, goes for plowing, do this, do that, comes back, spends some time, have food, rest, evening. Like as a very common person. Of course, While taking shower or while eating, all the time he remembers God. He spends some time. That's all, as a common person does. This Narada got really confused. What is happening? I am 24 into 7 into 365. All the time, Narayana, 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 including while fighting with both the parties. That time also I am saying Narayana, but in a different tone, that's all, okay? So other time I say Narayana, Narayana, but that time Narayana means I have come here to do something, okay? So all the time I am doing job of Narayana, whereas he does once in a while. How can he be considered one of the best, that too better than me? That's why Lord says that he is dearer to me. He was really confused. And he came back and said, look, oh Lord, I think something is wrong. The address, I think you gave wrong address. I met such and such person, how is it possible? I spent some time. And Lord Vishnu says, hey no, that was the right address, right person you met, don't worry. What? How can it be possible? Yes, it is possible, don't worry. The story goes further that, no, something is wrong, you are not treating. Yes, don't worry. Do one thing. Now I am giving you there are two versions, somebody says oil, somebody says water. So in a vessel full of water, go around the world, make sure the water must not spill. Now what happens to Narada? Now in few seconds he can go everywhere. Now he carries the oil in a vessel which is full. Now he is more conscious about what? Oil should not spill. Now when he is focusing on oil not to spill, where is Narayana? Narayana is gone. And of course, going round, came back. So very proudly, wow, I achieved, I did it. So Narayana said, okay, what happened? Did you really chant Narayana? Narayana said, when is the time to think of Narayana? I was only thinking of the oil not to spill. That time, Lord Vishnu smiled and said, look, a small quirk make you to forget me. But this person, in spite of doing everything, continuously remembers me. In fact, background music is me. Externally, he works. That background music is me is called Viveka Khyati. Can you see this point? So this Viveka Khyati has to be there all the time. Whatever I do, even if somebody beats me, somebody slaps me, yes, I am being slapped. Remember that me as Brahman being slapped because of my karma. Can you see this? Understand? That objectivity, it is exactly like I would like to say, especially when you go through operation with local anesthesia. You know the operation is being done. You know they are cutting it, but there is no pain. You see, you listen to it. There is objectivity. Can you see this point? You see, you know, but there is no continuation unless your mind is crazy. That's why they give more and more, okay? That's another point. If you are so restless. So here is being highlighted. This yoga anga to be performed, or they are the means for Viveka Khyati. Now, if this is the case, now also we need to see that Yamaha. So the first one we highlight called Yama. So this Yama, if we see, we say very nicely, this Yama and Niyama are to be done together. It is not one after another. In fact, in Manu Samhita, it is being highlighted. Yaman seveta satam no niyaman kevalan buddha. Yaman purvana niyaman kevalan bhajan. So if the person is intelligent enough, a Buddha, an intelligent person, what has to do? Both yama and niyama to be followed. In fact, you just say seveta. So seveta, that means the person has to enjoy by following this yama, especially here when you start following this yama. Then what happens when you follow? Then only what happens? You will discover there is difference. But if you only follow niyama, not yama, definitely the person will fall down. So that means both niyama and yama to be followed together. That's why in short we highlight yama and niyama. So that means if you want to say very carefully, that is nothing but yama is not to do. Niyama means to do. Very clear? So if we see that yama not to do and niyama to do, that means there are do's and don'ts. So when we talk about this do's and don'ts, now in the set of yama we have 5 things together. Earlier it was 10, however Patanjali brought down to 5. Earlier we had 10 yama and 10 niyamas prior to Patanjali. So let us not get into in details. I think I had talked in different occasions in details. So now let us get into these 5. So what are they? The Sutra number 3030. Ahimsa, Satya, Astheya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha, Yamaha. So it's very simple that Ahimsa, Satya, Astheya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha, these are the yamas. Actually, when you look at this yama, not to do. So ahimsa, not hurting. Satya, not telling lie. Can you see? All are starts with no. Okay. Then astheya, not stealing. Brahmacharya, not wasting the energy. Aparigraha, not allowing yourself to be discontented. So that means all are no. So wherever there is no, to be understood. Get the point? So yamas to be understood more and more. So the more I understand yamas, the more it becomes part of me. Niyamas to be followed, we'll see. Niyamas to be understand, to not only it is to be anushthanam, this abhyasam to be done. And that's why he says beautifully, ahimsa starts with ahimsa. In fact, ahimsa becomes the seed of all other 4. So being the, let us say, capsule, the seed, That's why the sutra starts with ahimsa. Because if we try to understand this ahimsa aspect, which will be seen in details as it comes, that how not to hurt others. Because when I hurt others, definitely I cannot tell truth either. Then of course, stealing, presenting myself differently happens. Then I waste my energy, brahmacharya. Then aparigraha, definitely I cannot be contented. So looking at all these aspects, now here he says, look, first starts with ahimsa. So this ahimsa, understanding, not allowing myself to get hurt, nor hurting others. And this can be done with reference to body, externally, with reference to bani, with reference to speech, and of course we do have different vrittis, different thoughts. So I can plan to hurt somebody, even though law does not punish that person. Suppose if you keep planning, you don't share your plan with anybody, nor you execute as per the law, you are not punishable, okay? Because the planning is in you. But here we say it is a punishable act. Because you are punishing yourself all the time. So that's why we say very carefully, so whether it is related to bodily, physical or mentally, and this mentally can be looked into both externally, internally. Because mentally you can also hurt somebody externally. If your mental power is so strong, you can say, look, fall, that fellow will fall down. What especially people do a lot of prayogas. So prayogas comes under that. So that's why here is being highlighted, whether it's externally or internally. And finally comes one's own sadaripus, this kama, krodha, lobha, maha. All these sadaripus, what they do? They also do hurt me. I am constantly getting hurt, not because of somebody, not because of something, but because of my 6 enemies that I have with me all the time. So my kama, my krodha, my lobha, my moha, they only, madhavascharya, they only always hurt me. So this is the point here very carefully. We say very nicely that I need to be careful not to entertain, to hurt, or I also must be careful not to entertain, to allow others to hurt me. Because when I allow others to hurt me, I don't have any choice other than hurting or creating some disturbance. There is no choice, or else I may break down. You just look at a stone. So when you hit a stone, if that stone allows to be, beating up, happening to that stone? If nothing will happen, at least will there be a crack or not? There has to be a crack. Now when there is a crack and that stone happens to be in a place where everybody is stepping on, finally what will happen? It may hurt somebody. So if it happens in the case of a stone, any one case, when you allow others knowingly or unknowingly to be hurt, you are vulnerable. So as a vulnerable person, now what choice do you have? Whether you like it or not, you will hurt others without your knowledge. And that is how many people hurt. That's why you feel sorry for people, especially when they speak rudely. So when a person speaks rudely to you, that means what? There is a lot of hurt in one's self, unresolved hurt. Maybe the person is trying to find out, if they're smart enough, trying to find out to vomit, so that the hurt goes away. Or else what will happen is, time will heal, no doubt in it. Everybody, for everyone case, time will heal. But what happens with a big scar? And this scar is something cannot be avoided. And whenever you look at the scar, automatically again your heart pops up. So that's why we say, allow that heart to come out. Learn to express properly. That's why in many places, many ways we do, one of the things we do this in our method is do japam. So when you do japam, especially purascharanam, when there is any unresolved heart, so one of the best methods is go and do a purascharanam. So when you do purascharanam, same mantra, when you keep chanting day in and out. So what happens? That heart gives result. Literally, you overcome because you are a different person. And when you look back that heart, definitely that heart becomes a blessing for you, a teaching source for you. Whereas any other method, even though in West or in present scenario, present days, because now everybody has become West, okay? Not W-E-S-T, W-A-S-T, okay? West. However, this going to psychotherapist, going through different type of regression, last life regression therapy, all these things are good, nothing wrong in it. But remember, it is exactly like covering or postponing your heart for time being. It really does not help in long run. So only I would suggest for this Purascharanam means taking a mantra and keep chanting day and out. At least to start with, 10,000 or 20,000 I do every day. That creates a different impact altogether in body, in mind, and of course in surrounding. So while discussing, says second is, we'll see Satyam. That's why we have what? Satyam Briyat, Priyam Briyat, Na Briyat, Satyam Apriyam Iti. So not telling lies. And also when you speak truth, it should be priyam, palatable. It's not necessarily pleasing, palatable at least. Never ever say bitter truth. Because by talking, by sharing bitter truth, what are you going to gain? So, but we do this bitter truth. We do talk. Why? Not for anything, but to present myself as superior than others. So whenever this bitter truth comes out, deep within there is some type of inferiority complex in me. So moment I get an opportunity, I do talk bitterly so that I am superior than that person. There is no communication at all. That's why of this thing I need to understand. Then comes astheya. So astheya means snatching away somebody's result. That means somebody has done something, the result, the credit must go to that person. But what I do? I snatch away the credit. It's not stealing money, okay? Those days only was money. So money is what? Dhanam. Somebody's wealth is what? Nothing but karma phala. So nowadays different type of karma phalas are there. So in fact, I'll tell you, we all are thief nowadays, especially after AI. So AI made everybody thief. So what we do? Hey, right. So today I was asking that fellow, can you write something? That fellow says, yes, I can write for you, but however it is not final. You need to go through. That fellow talks to me, okay? Anyway, let us not get into. So, astheya. That's why, please understand, nowadays we don't have value for anything. Time is going to come. Slowly. The isolated place will have a big price. After some time, you yourself will all discover also. If you have, some 100 acres of land, far away from everything, with some facilities, that will be priceless. People will look for it. And is very soon is going to happen. Because people are tired, and especially younger generation are tired. Be honest. Especially after AI came. Do you read anything? I now presently don't read Facebook post. No time I was reading, okay? Now photos, whatever you are looking, after few maybe months, or we do not know how quickly it's going to happen, once another AI app comes which can read the photos, what will happen to you? You will only become curious, there is nothing. People are going to go crazy. So all these things comes under astheya. What I deserve, I expect more than that. Why? When I expect more than what I deserve, that continuously that hunger is in me. Then what I do? I take different means. Of course, we'll be seeing in keeping with. Then comes brahmacharya. So brahmacharya means, as there are many things, in short, Being master brahmacharya, we put it called jitendriya. Being master of your sense organs, especially upastendriya. So, not allowing your upasthendriya to do what is to be done, especially not allowing the energy to be wasted. That's why we use this word very carefully. Brahmacharya means jitendriya. So this indriya stands for upasthendriya. This is the technical word we use very carefully. Then finally comes that aparigraha. So aparigraha means whatever you have is enough. Because when we look at ourselves, we think it's not enough. Very nicely. Somebody wanted to be smart. I was watching, sometimes funny videos comes in, okay? So when a young boy, but I got some good message that made a video on, rubbing the bottle. Genie, 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 come out, come out, come out, come out. And so finally genie appears. Now genie said, look, I can fulfill your 3 wishes. So ask. Then he said, look, in my first wish I want, you have to fulfill my 100 wishes. He says, impossible. Sorry, ask. Now, he said, no, this is the only thing I can ask. He said, sorry, you cannot ask this. Other than that, you ask anything. This person got so angry. Says that, okay, now my second wish is break this branch, tree one branch, take the stick and start hitting yourself. So genie started hitting and of course making noise, crying. Now he says, look, now tell me whether you will fulfill my second boon or not. Will you give me my boon or not? Genie says, look, if you release me, then only I can do something. Okay? He said, okay, now I say stop hitting. Okay, stopped. Now again he asked, fulfill my 100 boons. Genie says, not possible. Ask me something. Then this person says, look, what is to ask? Better not to ask anything to you. And genie vanishes because already 3 boons are over. Just look at this, a small example. In our life, we are never contented. We say, one of the name of Bhima was called Brukodara. So Brukodara means his udaram, his stomach was like wolf. Because wolf is always hungry. That's why we say, are you Bhima or what? Anytime you wake him or her up, can eat. But mentally, also we are what? That is Brukodara. We are what? Mentally we are also another type of wolf. You understand? Never satisfied. So here is being highlighted aparigraha, that one has to cultivate this attitude, let me be contented, let me be satisfied. Because once I am contented and satisfied, then only I can improve. Unless and until I am satisfied, I am contented, I cannot improve. More of it we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya